Hey guys, welcome to today's analysis to finish off the week for Thursday, March 19th. So tomorrow, no major news events left in the calendar. If we go here into the ES chart, weekly candlestick definitely not looking very promising at all. We're leaving a big pin bar candle at the moment, but we are still holding above this 6650s, which is our main area that we have been looking at, which was this large previous area of resistance, pre-breakout to all-time highs, and now third time we are back at these levels, holding as support. If we go on the daily chart, you can see today we reacted once again off of 66.35, the daily level where we had this two exact lows. Back today added again, and we're literally closing exactly at the bottom that we had on the gap down on Monday. Okay, so going into tomorrow, definitely 66.35 is the level that we cannot afford to lose to the downside. If we go on the weekly, on the hourly, yesterday we were right around here when I made the video after we started pushing out down in Asia. So this level that I marked, 67.19, very key level. Look at this big edge of this high volume node on the weekly. So I want to see a strong close above 67.19, and then again holding on any retests going into 67.64 as our first level, and then into the major low volume node area, high here, high from last week's profile, and also from the longer term profile. So very clear areas we have. First level of interest, second, third, and bulls want to get back above this level into New York tomorrow, above 67.19. Downside, the daily level you can see held very well between 8 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon. Most of the New York session was all holding at this longer term low volume node zone, 6620s, pushing up. That was also the low from 2 weeks ago. We rated below, and now we're back above. So looking at this shorter term, when we open up for Asia, I'll be looking first at this little low volume node zone right here. So let me just mark this on the right there, hourly. So you can see we've already bounced there on the 4 o'clock candle, but this was support during Asia and Europe on Thursday, then the breakdown, then we started consolidating all through New York, and now we are back breaking above. So any pullbacks, this is the area that I want to see holding for a nice over-under pattern into here. If we push lower, then obviously we're just looking at the bottom here and the major low volume node zone. And to the upside, like I said, I would like to see this break above, flip this, come into 67.19 as our first level, broken resistance, clean break untested, first target and major area of resistance for a retest and rejection. But if we manage a strong close through it, then look to accept back into this upper node distribution on the weekly. And if we take a peek here at the 5 minute, you can see, overall, it was a very messy session. You can see just rotations back and forth. So we have a very range bound profile right into the last hour of trading. before we had this strong breakout, and now all this top area from the session node came back for a perfect retest, holding 21 EMA, and we started drifting upwards. So now pullbacks here, we want to see support again. If we have a strong close below, then back test this back into the mean point of control and the daily level, and then below that obviously the bottom edge from the range in the session. But ideally break above high of today and just continue making higher highs, higher lows. Okay, let's clean this up. Let's go into NASDAQ. Weekly, continuing just barely holding into this major support resistance area, but again very strong rejections all on the tops of this last 4 weeks. If I zoom out here, you can see once again testing 24,469, and we are not yet being able to hold into this major high volume node. So right now pretty much this is a major area of resistance on the daily. Let me just put this on the daily right there. So we need to get back above this red zone to get back into the range from this high volume node here. Oh. Get rid of this. And now let's go into the hourly. So yesterday we talked as our first target to the upside this swing low that we had here, and also the 24,688 hourly level. Came back into it in Asia session. Almost, I mean, we literally missed it by just a few ticks. And then we went all the way down to the low volume node area here from our profile, held very well in New York, reclaimed that level. So now, plan for tomorrow, NASDAQ, we want to break above this zone right over here. We need to get back above this area and then look to hold for a back test into 24,982. And then into our major low volume node resistance here. You can see top edge here, edge of this weekly as well, into the 25,000s area there. And then to the downside, we have the lows from 2 weeks ago, which again in ES we did raid these lows. In NASDAQ we haven't done so. So a breakout like this, and then we will look to come down to this level if we flip this support cluster into resistance for further downside there. Gold. Still holding below this major area we've talked about. You can see another really big red day in gold. We've now officially closed through 46.77 daily level. Resistance, breakout, support, back and close below. So now this is going to be a very key level on the lower time frames when we come to retest it in tomorrow's session if we come back into it. Below that you can see 44.51 is our next major daily level target to the downside. 4-hour chart. So you can see, as I mentioned, downside 44.51 next major daily level, but 46.21 very key hourly support area. From the long term, you can see very big edge on this node and low volume node support, which was where we found support at the end of the day in gold. So coming into tomorrow, we have this order block right here. Let me put it in the, so right there, this is going to be our first area target to the upside, get back above 47.23, and then we go to fill in to this breakdown from 2 a.m. Europe open last night. Above that, 49.04, and then the breakdown from Wednesday, 49.94. So overall, gold has been pushing down very hard, so I would expect some kind of relief into tomorrow. So you can see here we had this huge cluster sideways, and then the volatility kicked in at the Europe session on Wednesday. And so we're looking at coming back to this level, reclaiming, coming back to this area of supply. Next we have our daily level, and then we also have these little nodes that we've developed through the week as well. So we'll look to play breaks and retest off the edges of them. Then we go to the high of the node, this cluster, and then finally this big area, ultimately 49.94 would be our main target into the upside. And finally Bitcoin, weekly chart, still pushing down a little bit more. Here on the daily, we are getting back inside of the high volume node territory here. So the risk now is that we're going to start finding heavy resistance right in this area around 72,000. Any pullbacks here, I would expect rejection and resistance. We need to have a strong hourly candle close through 72,000, and then coming back into the 74. So if I zoom out, you can see the bottom and support today was exactly at this area of low volume node supports near the bottom from last week's profile, 69,170s. We're now at the next key hourly level, which I marked yesterday, 70,592, which was all these lows here. We had some support breakdown, and now we're retesting right there. So I want to have a strong breakthrough here, come back to this area of low volume node resistance. If we reject, then we're looking just for our next levels down. If we can have a strong close through, we're looking at 73,000 as our first target here, and then right into 73,800s, pretty much at the last consolidation pre-breakdown that we had right over here. So that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you're having a good week so far. I will be back over the weekend with a whole new fresh analysis. I'm going to be back in the city, so it should be a little bit quieter and with some better Wi-Fi signal as well. And with that, I'll leave you, and we'll talk again soon. Take care.